cut for a woman is when surgery is performed on a part of her body tied to her sense of femininity. The knife can leave a scar that never heals, but a stunning new technology cuts out the scalpel altogether. Geula Lehrer and Ruth Orsheimer are a mother and daughter. They share an interest in tarot cards, an age-old way of focusing energy in order to make decisions.
It appears that the state of your health can be compared to a wheel of fortune. It is down now, but it can definitely turn around.
At the age of 29, Geula was diagnosed with a growth in her uterus. The tumor alone could not be removed. Her choice was clear: accept a complete hysterectomy or face the inevitable consequences.
I was very young when my mother had the operation. I was about 5, but I remember how she was before the operation and afterwards.
Geula's operation meant she could not have any more children. It took her many years to come to terms with the loss of something so closely tied to her womanhood.
I was very depressed. I think I was punishing myself. I didn't care if I was fat or thin, about what I was wearing, about being a woman.
Now, her daughter Ruth faces the same heart-wrenching decision. A growth was recently discovered in her uterus, sending Ruth on a desperate search.
I was convinced that if I had to have a hysterectomy, I'd probably end up like my mother. It scared me because I didn't want to lose my femininity. Conventional medicine had no solution for me. I was told to wait until the growth got large enough, and then they would perform a hysterectomy.
She searched for an alternative to surgery, finally meeting with Dr. Yaron Rabinowitz at the Sheba Medical Center. He suggested a new treatment, one that could destroy the growth without a single cut.
We gynecologists perform many operations on women with myomas. In the United States, there are 200 to 300,000 hysterectomies performed each year. But we know the consequences. The anesthesia, the soreness of the scar, and the amount of time it takes to recover.
Ironically, a form of ultrasound technology, originally used to see into the uterus, is the key to a dramatic form of non-invasive surgery. The surgeon, instead of holding a scalpel, now works with a computer mouse, focusing high-intensity sound waves that destroy the tumor or fibroid from within.
This is very much like science fiction. You're still a surgeon. You have the handpiece in one hand, the knife in the other, and nothing in the middle. So the approach is still surgical, but it is non-invasive.
The technology that made Ruth's operation possible is based on a simple idea. Heat is created when an energy source can be focused on a much smaller area. Children the world over demonstrate this principle with nothing more than a magnifying glass. The sharper the sunlight is focused, the more extreme the heat. Eventually, the light burns a small hole without affecting the rest of the leaf. In Ruth's case, sound waves were the energy source doctors used to target her fibroids.
This lens acts as a magnifying glass. Just as a magnifying glass focuses the light in a small point at the center, so does this lens focus the radiation of high-frequency sound waves. The lens is placed inside the bed that the woman lies on when she goes into the MRI machine. The sound waves reach the woman's body through a liquid medium. She hardly feels anything.
I was apprehensive at first, but later I couldn't figure out what I was afraid of. I hardly felt a thing. After 3 hours, I woke up and we went home.
The high-intensity sound wave procedure is proving to be so successful, it is now being used in operations where disfigurement is an obvious concern. This time, doctors prepare to operate on a breast tumor. Before the operation can begin, a specially adapted MRI machine creates an image of the breast, which appears on the screen after the computer turns it into a thermal image.
This is the lump we have to deal with. It's all white from the dye we administered to it. There's enough room to get in and treat it without causing any damage around it.
How big is the lump?
It's about 2 centimeters in size. The width is 14 millimeters and its length is 22 millimeters. We always take into account a larger area than just the tumor. This way, the surrounding area will also be treated, and the tissues around the tumor will be normal and healthy. We divide the tumor into cubes and treat each cube separately.
Once the tumor has been divided into targeted areas, the virtual surgery begins. High-intensity sound waves focus on a cluster of cancer cells, generating temperatures that can reach 80 degrees Celsius. As the sound waves hit their mark, the destroyed area changes color in the image. One by one, the targets are destroyed, leaving healthy cells near the site almost completely unaffected. The doctors view the entire procedure through MRI imaging and confirm on the spot that all the cancer cells have been eliminated.
I really didn't know if I could dance again and be able to feel free to be a woman. Femininity begins in the womb. Today there's no problem. Nothing was harmed. Actually, I got stronger. The fact that my tummy got bigger because of the myomas means I have no problem dancing. I even like my belly now more than I used to.
For women like Ruth, the healing potential of this technology is nothing short of liberating. Yet some places in the human body are so twisted and dark, it takes extreme measures just to spot a problem before it's too late.